Hello, guys, and welcome back to Sauti Briefs, where we discuss current conservation topics in Kenya and Africa. I'm your host, Natasha Nyangara, and before we proceed with today's episode, a gentle reminder to follow us on our social media pages so that you keep up to date with all our upcoming content and ongoing programs. In the meantime, let's do this. We kick off today's episode with some tragic news following an incident that took place a week and a half ago. A demonstration organized by a group of women in Kajiado County protesting against human-wildlife conflict issues turned fatal, with 4 people killed after police officers opened fire on the protesters. During the incident, 7 other people were injured. Residents of Masimba town staged demonstrations along the Nairobi-Mombasa highway, demanding action against the area's ongoing invasion by wild animals, particularly elephants. These protests were sparked by officials' apparent negligence following the recent death of a local teacher, Felix Kilapai, who was killed by an elephant on his way home from school. Kajiado locals were also outraged by the frequent devastation of property in the area caused by the mismanaged perennial wildlife invasion. Residents of the area stated that they have frequently urged the Kenya Wildlife Service to find a solution to the human-wildlife conflict without result. They have also been forced to withdraw their children from schools out of fear of unexpected attacks by wild animals, incidences which have been on a rapid increase over the last few years. According to news sources, eyewitness accounts and police testimonies, the protests erupted when protesters lit tires on fire and obstructed the busy highway for many hours. This caused a significant traffic gridlock that stretched for more than 5 kilometers, effectively crippling operations. The police officers dispatched to intervene, the General Service Unit, also known as GSU, clashed with the protesters, resulting in the deployment of tear gas and eventually open gunfire by the security forces. This tragic incident follows repeated and recent accusations of Kenya's security personnel using excessive and violent force, particularly during the implementation of the nationwide COVID-19 curfew. While condoling with the family members of the 4 people killed, Kajiado County Governor Joseph Olelenku condemned the police action, adding that they should not have used live bullets on the innocent demonstrators. Furthermore, the governor stated that the killings may have been avoided with a little more understanding of the local community's frustration by the loss of lives in human-wildlife conflicts. The Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, has released a statement revealing that it is investigating the 4 deaths and that if fault is proven, the officers involved will be held accountable. Further, the day after the incident, Interior CS Fred Matiang'i ordered the Ondoa Ndovu operation aimed at flushing out the menacing elephants in Masimba, Kiboko, and Merueshi areas, where the animals have killed 5 people in the last 2 years. 2 choppers from the KWS and the KDF have already driven away 42 elephants from habitation areas through this operation. We at Uvumbuzi Africa send our deepest condolences to the loved ones of those who died during this tragic event and a speedy recovery to those who were injured. Now on to more positive news. Last week, the world observed World Environment Day on the 5th of June, an annual event aimed at raising awareness about the current status of the Earth's environment, as well as urging people all over the world to take responsibility for the Earth's natural condition in the hopes of creating a better, more sustainable future. This year's celebration marks a significant environmental milestone since it represents 50 years since the first Stockholm Conference, which began our global journey towards a better tomorrow and the restoration of environmental integrity. This year's #OnlyOneEarth campaign emphasized sustainable living in harmony with the environment, as well as supporting sustainable consumption and collective action for transformative change. This theme emphasizes the planet's vulnerability and is intended to reinforce the idea that Earth is humanity's only home. The theme is reminiscent of the 1972 United Nations Conference on the Human Environment, which resulted in the establishment of the UNEP and the World Environment Day. According to environmentalists and the United Nations, the Earth is in the midst of a triple global emergency. 1. The climate is warming too rapidly for humans and nature to adapt. 2. Loss of natural habitat and other pressures continue to threaten the extinction of an estimated 1 million species. And 3. Pollution continues to poison our air, land, and water. Sustainable consumption and production can promote economic development, reduce climate change, improve health and pollution, and aid in poverty alleviation. The solution to this conundrum is to reform our economies and communities so that they are more inclusive, fair, and connected to nature, with the aid of technologies that are increasingly becoming more advanced and affordable. Recognizing that transformative action requires the active participation of a myriad of stakeholders, the World Environment Day campaign encouraged positive decisions, collectively framing our ambition and opening up new prospects for environmental action. Others of a higher magnitude include energy, production systems, global trade and transportation networks, and biodiversity conservation. To mark the day in Kenya, a joint initiative for environmental protection was launched in Nairobi by the China Media Group in collaboration with major news companies across Africa. The initiative is intended to strengthen environmental reporting among media entities and personalities using technological advancements and leveraging broadcasters' and publishers' roles in creating environmental and public awareness. It also aims at maximizing the media as a powerful tool to direct the attention of citizens towards the environmental agenda. Similarly, Uvumbuzi Africa, through our flagship Digital Media for Conservation subprogram, understand the effectiveness and implement the use of mainstream and digital media to raise awareness and provide vital information on environmental issues, ongoing conservation initiatives, and emerging climate solutions. To check out some of our exciting content, be sure to check out our Sauti a Conservation web series. You will find the link in the description below. Aside from pioneering a digital platform for wildlife and environmental conservation advocacy, Uvumbuzi Africa's volunteers Charlene Anyango and Yvonne Kiundi participated in a cleanup of the Nairobi National Park hosted by the Kenya Wildlife Service to show their support for the objectives of the World Environment Day and to demonstrate their dedication to sustainable environmental stewardship. The event entailed collecting waste along the Mbagathi River and the Southern Bypass, as well as removing an invasive plant species that is hazardous to a variety of wild animals. Uvumbuzi Africa commends the efforts of the KWS and all the individuals, organizations, and groups that took the time to make an impact this World Environment Day. As we conclude today's episode, we'd like to give a special shout out to the 2022 Rhino Charge competition, which managed to raise 150 million Kenya shillings this year for conservation. The Rhino Charge competition, which supports the activities of the Rhino Arc Kenya Charitable Trust, was held on Saturday in Mosiro, Kajiado County. A total of 64 teams participated in the competition that attracted sponsorships from numerous organizations and individuals. Congratulations to all those who participated, and we commend you for your dedication to conservation. Thank you for joining us on this week's episode. If you have any questions about the topics discussed or would like to give some feedback on our videos, feel free to engage with us in the comment section below or send us a direct message at Uvumbuzi Africa on any of our socials. From me, it's Asante. Until next time.